What's up, everybody? You already know who it is. It's DripGodDero, and I'm back at you guys with another banger. So, man, for today, we got some crazy news. A trade has officially been made by the Atlanta Hawks, and that trade does involve John Collins. Now, we will break this trade down, and I will give my thoughts on the trade, but before I do get into that, man, it's Monday, so how has you guys' Monday been, man? My Monday has been fine. And hey, with it being Monday, y'all already know what time it is. It's grind time, so we gonna be pushing out these videos, and I just ask that you guys keep supporting the channel and keep pushing through and you guys day-to-day life, man. I know life is hard, things get tiring, but keep pushing. But with all of that being said, let's switch over and let's get right into it. Alright, so we all switched over, and as you guys can see, this is an article from ESPN, so it is official news. And let's read into this article. Now it says, Hawk deal John Collins to the Jazz, open huge exception, sources say. So let's read into it, man. Now, of course, this was first posted by Adrian Wojnarowski. Shout out to him, and let's just read into it. In a deal that delivers the franchise dramatic financial flexibility, the Atlanta Hawks are trading forward John Collins to the Utah Jazz, sources told ESPN on Monday. The Hawks are acquiring forward Rudy Gay and a future second-round pick for John Collins, who is owed $78 million over the next 3 seasons, sources said. The swap creates a $25.3 million trade exception for the Hawks, the largest in the NBA. Atlanta has a year to potentially use the exception to take on a player's contract. So, with that being said, what do I think about this trade? So before I do get into it, let's just take a look at the salaries, because like I always tell you guys, most of these trades are all about the money or, you know, just the talent of the player. So let's take a look at the Atlanta Hawks salary. Alright, so we all switched over to Hoops Hype. Shout out to them. They make things so simple, so simple. And as we can see, last year, they did have a team payroll of pretty much $150 million. And the team payroll was 16th in the league, so they didn't have one of the highest payrolls. But let's just take a look at John Collins' contract. So as we can see, he was going to be getting paid $25 million pretty much for the next 3 seasons, as we can see right here. And let's also switch over to the Utah Jazz so we can see Rudy Gay's salary as well. So once again, we are on the Hoops Hype. Shout out to them. And as we can see, the Utah Jazz, they salary or they team payroll is pretty low. You know, they are 19th in the league last year. And let's see Rudy Gay's salary. So Rudy Gay, he was only going to be getting paid $6 million this upcoming season. And pretty much like Adrian Wojnarowski said, this was a move just to free up some money. Now, I believe the reason that they did do this move is because, as we can see, it looks like, you know, DeJounte Murray, he's only going to be on the books until next year, so they do have to worry about re-signing him. So that's a good reason for them to free up some space for the upcoming season. You know, like I was saying, John Collins, he was still on the books for the next 2 years after the 2023-2024 season. So you definitely had to free up some space if you want to keep DeJounte Murray. Let's look at some more salaries where they needed to actually, you know, just create some space. Let's see if we have any other ones. Alright, so it looks like that may be the only main, you know, just the only main piece they probably wanted to keep, to be honest. or they really were worried about when it comes to money, to be honest. But besides that, John Collins, he hadn't really did much for them, to be honest. They do have a player who can somewhat replace him in Okongwu. Okongwu, great defensively. And John Collins, he just kind of had a slightly down year. So I do understand the reason for them making that move. And to just give my thoughts on this, to be honest, I feel like the Atlanta Hawks, they could have got a little more out of John Collins. I would have rather them, actually get a player that can actually contribute to this team instead of just getting a player for money, to be honest. For the Utah Jazz, I don't really like this move for them as well because, yeah, you got John Collins, but at the same time, he does still have 3 more years on his contract. And John Collins, he kind of fills a similar role to Lauri Markkanen, a player that is capable of doing multiple things. And another question for the Utah Jazz is, how are you going to give him minutes? To me, Lauri Markkanen is their franchise player at this point, and John Collins plays the exact same position as Lauri Markkanen. So how are they going to actually integrate John Collins into the offense and into this team? That remains to be seen. If he's coming off the bench, do you really want to be paying a player who's coming off the bench $25 million? Me personally, I wouldn't want to do that. So I really don't like the trade for neither team, to be honest. When it comes to the Utah Jazz, how does John Collins really fit for this team? I would have rather the Utah Jazz went after a guard. And for the Atlanta Hawks, it's like, you getting rid of John Collins doesn't really make this team any better. Yes, you have cash, but besides that, I need to see a little bit more out of the Atlanta Hawks to actually improve the team. Just having cash doesn't mean that you will improve the team. So I don't really like the trade on both ends, but you guys get in the comments down below, and tell me what you think. Hey, if you are a Atlanta Hawks fan, tell me what you think about that trade, man, down below in the comments. If you are a Utah Jazz fan, you tell me as well what you think about the trade in the comments down below. Hey, like the video, comment on the motherfucking video, subscribe to the motherfucking channel, turn on notifications and all that good stuff, and I'm out. Peace.